Hi, everyone. Welcome. And I am here just to welcome you. I am Dr. Deborah Tui. I will be your instructor for this semester. We are in preview week. We're actually nearing the end of preview week. And by now, you should have posted your grading and anything else that you want to introduce yourself with. It's, as little or as much as you want to include. A little about maybe where you're from or what you're studying, where you work, if you work, family, there's this is a good time for me to get to know you and get to know anyone else in the course. So keep in mind that we do take attendance for preview week. You have to show that you were in class at some point this week, and that's going to end on Sunday night. So I hope that you have gotten in there. And if you haven't, this is a reminder to get in there. And I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Okay, I have my screen shared with you all. And I wanted to show you a little about our classroom. And of course, if you've taken other classes, then this is going to be very easy for you. But I like to do this. Now, my view may not be identical to yours because I have, an instructor view with extra tabs. But basically, it's going to start off with your overview. And you see entrepreneurship, Busy 443, the session. It's always good to just confirm this when you log in to make sure, at least your first time, that you're posting into the right course, if there's anything else that's showing, or if you're taking more than one course. So that's the first thing I would do. I've been an online learner, so anything that I can help you with, time management, or of course the material, but just the online world, I have a lot of good tips to share with you on that. And let's see where I begin. I probably begin with announcements. So we had a couple of ways to reach those announcements. We have a bunch of announcements. These are not all, these are all just into the future, but let's look at week 1. I would want to see that, right? You want to know what's coming next week. And it's going to tell you, and what I try to do is I try to really welcome you to the next week, tell you a little about what we're going to cover. All your assignments are in the classroom, but I will summarize some of them in the announcement just as a reminder. And so you'll see that all here, the reading, the discussion, and the 2 assignments right here. If I find something of interest in the area of multimedia, I will post it here, which I did. My days off, so that you know, that's always good to know when there's your instructor not going to be checking in for any reason at all. And mine will be consistently, and I'm very sure it's going to be consistent, but if there was any changes, I'll tell you that week. But it will be Wednesdays and Sundays for this semester. So what I want to recommend is that if you, especially because Sunday is when the last day for any work for the week, you'll definitely want to find me, let's say Friday afternoon or Friday evening, email me if you needed anything from me, message me, because I would see it on Saturday, and by the time we go back and forth, let's say it was a complex question. I'm assuming, I'm talking about a worst case scenario. It might just be a simple question, but let's say it goes back and forth, and then that way everything will be solid in your mind by Saturday, and then Sunday is my day off. So I feel that's important. I had, like I said, being an online learner, there were times that I just didn't know the simplest question that would maybe take my instructor a minute, but I couldn't proceed without that question. So keep in mind Wednesdays and Sundays, and by Sunday you should already be wrapped up. That's how I feel. I like to say Sunday as a student when I was a student, to be the day that I might just take another look at everything, but everything should really be done. Leave it as that kind of proofreading, double checking yourself, and but again, that's up to you. Just know that I don't want you to feel that you can't reach me, because I am there all of the other 5 days. Also, I will get back to you during those other days in 24 hours or less. And I say this too, is that if anything ever delayed me more than that, or with any instructor, please reach out to me again. I doubt that there would be a problem with the email, but I've seen times where it could be a server issue. I don't even think it happens to me once a year, but I was the one that would politely wait for my instructor for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then they'd say, I didn't know you needed me. So I just like to remind everyone, we're here to guide you, teach you, help you in your Christian worldview, in this course, in entrepreneurship, and in other classes. However, we also understand that, life gets hectic, work gets hectic, and we are here to help you. And that is what we are here for. So I just want to make sure that everyone is comfortable with that. And let's look at some other, I have more announcements too. I also try to leave you with some scripture each week if I find something of interest to me. And usually post that at the end of my announcement. So that's what a typical weekly announcement looks like. And here's preview week. I'm just clicking on the tabs on the side here. Telling you how to get started. Okay. Your introduction. Meet your instructor. And here's where I posted a video for you too. And then we also have our syllabus. Well, let me first go. Also, we have a welcome announcement. Okay. Here's our welcome announcement. That's another thing I would look for definitely in preview week if I were you. It shows my office hours, how to reach me. And then along the side, you see you have your 7 weeks, right? You see them here, preview week and then 7 weeks. You can skip right to the forums here, or to assignments, to messages, which is the way that you should contact me. Zoom, for any time that we have to hop on and meet like tonight. And then again, some other tabs on here you won't have on your screen, but you can always just go straight into the week, or you could, let's say, go into the forums instead. Okay, so it's up to you. There's a couple of ways to accomplish the same thing. All right, so let's look at our syllabus. And a lot of this, if you've taken other classes, you can just drop down here and see our mission, course description. Course description, let's spend a moment. So it's the examination of the process of starting a new business and then effectively managing it. And we're going to talk about the traits of entrepreneurs, which hopefully is you, right? Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur these days, right? Creating a business plan, which is the first thing I tell my clients when they come to me. Let's do a business plan. And it's kind of difficult to pin people down. They just know what they want to do. They're creative. The juices are flowing creatively, but it's very hard for them to put it on paper. I'm going to force you to. First of all, in this class, and also if you came to me as a client. Startup challenges. You ever have a friend come to you and tell you their idea? I bet you have. Well, there are challenges, and we'll be covering some of those. How to research and evaluate the markets, because that's going to come up when you do your business plan, right? The form of ownership. So are you going to come up with this business and call it, what type of entity you're going to call it? Are you going to make it a sole proprietorship, a partnership, a corporation? If a corporation, what type of corporation? Those are questions that you're going to want to figure out based on your business model, your capital, and do you need a lot of capital or not? Sometimes you don't. And legal factors and cost, each of those cost different amounts. Also, we're going to go over market positioning, financial controls and sources of revenue, and marketing or promotion. So that is our course description, really exciting material. We have 2 books, and one is the Business Model U, and I hope that you've already gotten your books ready now. And then the Lean Startup. The Lean Startup is a bestseller on the New York Times list. It's got some great reviews if you've looked at it already, from the COO over at Facebook and some other very, very great entrepreneurs that have endorsed that book, The Lean Startup. So I really believe that you will enjoy it. Then we have, of course, under the resources that they're listed right here, right? Let's go into, there is a course schedule tab. You drop down on that. And I made this up to assist you with what we do each week, all through week 7, and then which assignments when they're due. So this one says that there's a discussion. You're going to watch a video and post your response. Remember to look at the rubric and see that you're following to have met all the requirements for that response. And it's due in week 1, which is next week, on day 5, which is Friday. And you're going to have to respond to others by day 7 to that question, okay? So you can just follow, so you can print out the schedule and keep it on your desk, or scan it and keep it in your phone, whatever way that you keep track of things. But it's a really good idea. I would always print mine out. I'm just old school that way. Whatever way that it's going to keep it right front and center for you. Let me tell you, there's times when you're going to forget a deadline until that morning, somewhere along the way. And having that at least in front of you is going to serve you well. It can't prevent everything that's going to happen, but you certainly need to take steps to manage our time really well and have the resources that we need. There's a course expectations tab, and that you might have seen before, so we don't need to go over it again, but it's reminding you how long your discussion should be. 250 words for your first main post, and then at least 125 with your responses. There's a tendency each week, so even if you think you want to work ahead, that's not going to work out with attendance. You need to be here. If there's an emergency, reach out to me, and we can review what we can do to assist you, of course. Here are the course goals and objectives. Those are done, I always read them as a student. It just gives you an idea of the overview of the things that we'll be covering. It's really 3 major goals and shows you how much it helps in your overall program. So you might say, well, my major is not, this is not necessarily my major, or is it? I don't know. Well, it is, because here we tie it to the program objectives right here, okay? So you might want to see, well, okay, let me have the overview of these 3 main goals of this course. What I want to point out too is, look what it's saying, 16 hours per week for an undergraduate course. And sometimes that surprises students. Don't let it surprise you. That's the quality that we're looking for. You may be a superstar and, you know, type out your paper at 100 words a minute and be done way sooner than that. However, it could take you that long. It could take you 16 hours a week in an online class, okay? And that's for undergraduates, so it's only going to get a little more complicated when you get to grad school, which is a great goal too, right? All right, here's my messages tab, and I'm not going to click on some of those because they could show private things between me and students, but the messages tab, gradebook, and again, you can go straight into tests and quizzes, you can go straight into discussions or assignments, but we're going to learn so much about being entrepreneurs. And I have to tell you, out of any class, I teach a lot of classes, not all at once. I also have a 10-year-old, I think I mentioned in my bio, a 10-year-old, 2 dogs, a husband, and I also am a partner in a financial services firm. So what I do teach though, entrepreneurship is my favorite. It really is. I teach finance, I teach accounting, and I can tell you entrepreneurship is so relevant. And I like that it's so relevant to my students. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. And let me just see if I can start. Yeah, there I am. My view is a little bit messy, so I'll just put this on for a second. I have to definitely clean up around here, but what I wanted to do is I just want to let you know that I am here for you. I am here if you want me to pray for anything going on in your life. There's always things that are good or unexpected or hopefully nothing that is unfortunate during a semester, but it does happen. Of course, not often, but to say that you went through a whole program and nothing unexpected came up would be almost impossible. So let me see. I think that was all I wanted to share with you. Okay. Yes, we're good. All right, so definitely remember preview week, stop in and say hello, reach out to me, and I will be recording this for those of you that have not been able to attend live. So just listen to the recording and remember to post by Sunday, and then I will see you in class very soon. Thank you all. Nice to meet you.